Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Courtside Podcast, episode 22. Today I'm joined by Leroy. What's up, Leroy? There's been a lot going on since our last podcast. You know what I mean? Like Tom Brady, for example.
Tom Brady decided to come back after being retired for only a month.
But-
It took him long to get tired of being at home.
We got a whole lot to get into in this one, but appreciate you guys for listening and for the support. You know, the past few episodes, you know, the downloads have gone up, which is, you know, it's good to see. So, you know, I think you guys are enjoying the content. Seems like, because I used to make like 10-minute podcasts, so I think, you know, you guys like to just listen to, you know, longer podcasts. So yeah, that's what we're gonna keep doing for you guys every week. So we're gonna pump out, you know, hour-long podcasts and yeah. So yeah, thanks for the support. All right. So what do you want to talk about, Leroy?
I mean, there's a lot of money being spent in the NFL. We can start there. Biggest news: Devontae Adams getting traded.
A frenzy of moves, a flurry of moves.
Yeah. Surprisingly, with Devontae Adams getting traded, coming out west of Las Vegas.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was. I don't want to say the move was shocking because I mean Aaron Rodgers kind of took up all the money with his deal, so finding money for Devontae was gonna be hard. But then this man got his money though. He getting traded to the Raiders, 5 years, $141.25 million, highest paid receiver, getting his money, and he reunited with his college quarterback. So it ain't like he reunited with somebody who he don't know. And Derek Carr ain't no scrub out here.
He definitely got that bag. You say he got traded to the Raiders, right? So he's going to be backing up Derek Carr, or
no, Adams is a receiver, so Devontae will be throwing the ball too. Yeah, Devontae will be throwing. So they played together in college at Fresno State, so they have a little history with each other.
Yeah, the Raiders. I think they've made some moves, but I think you know. There's been a bunch of other teams that have tried to improve their rosters. Like, what about the Jaguars? They've made a lot of additions. They're trying to build around Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people kind of was a little surprised with the Christian Kirk deal, but the way that deal actually breaks down is that it's pretty much like a 2-year deal. That's like $35 million. So, and it's pretty much if he's a bust, they can get off of that deal and save $11 million on the cap.
Yeah.
So even though the money looks like a lot, I mean, it's pretty much if he produces.
Yeah, I think. Jacksonville, you know, they have a lot of ground to make up this year, but they do have the first pick, I believe, in the draft.
Yeah.
This season, right? So it's back-to-back seasons with the number one pick. And it just seems like I think they might be a team that surprises this upcoming year, but I still think the quarterback position is questionable. But
I mean, they might win some more games.
Yeah,
they gonna win some more games. That's about it. It's still Jacksonville.
What do you think about the Amari Cooper trade to Cleveland? I know you were harping on that trade, or you predicted that the last podcast.
Yeah, I think at least Dallas got something for him. You know, they didn't just let him walk. You know, they were going to just let him walk, but they got something for him. So if you're Dallas, you know, you satisfied with that. You got, I think it was like a third, maybe fifth round pick. If I remember the details of it right. But, you know,
they gave up a few trashy picks for him.
Yeah. So, yeah, you gave that up. And then when I was on Dallas, they thought they had Randy Gregory coming back, but then he flips and signed with the Broncos because he didn't like the language in the contract of the Dallas, which basically was like if he gets any drug related suspension or anything like that, they can basically shun the contract and he can get nothing. So that language wasn't in there with Denver. Plus, so we gonna be real with each other. Randy Gregory got suspended for smoking weed.
Yep.
What's illegal in Colorado?
Smoke weed. It's legal, right?
Exactly. It ain't legal in Dallas, but it's legal in Colorado.
Really?
So it makes all the most sense. If you don't like that language, though, why not go to a state where it's legal?
So you think he's going to request a trade there?
Oh, no, he didn't request a trade. He already signed it.
Mm.
He was a free agent.
That's why he
was
signed there.
going to sign with Dallas. And the contract was the same. It was 5 years, $70 million. So obviously, you pivot from Dallas and you decide, I'm gonna go to Denver instead because I like the language in this contract. And if it's like I say, it's drug related based like that, you flipping over to Denver. Well, what you got busted for and suspended for is legal over there. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still probably not legal in the league's policy and all that stuff.
I thought the league changed the policies recently where they made that kind of stuff legal, like recreational use. Okay. But I think I could be wrong. I don't know.
I'll look it up. I might have missed that one. They should because everybody else is.
It might have been baseball. I'm not sure, but
baseball was the first one not to do it. Basketball is getting on that train too. So if that's great, and Randy Gregory definitely made the right decision because now you can just get easy access to it. And you gotta go through some dudes and possibly get out the streets.
Yeah. What other moves are you?
There's a lot of moves, man. There's a lot of moves.
What about the Chargers? The Chargers they're brewing something for sure. I mean, I think they got the quarterback position in place with Herbert, and they're upgrading their defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
They just signed that player from New England. What's his name?
J.C. Jackson.
Yeah,
J.C. Jackson. Yeah,
I think that was a good pickup. It was expensive though. I mean, what did they give him? They gave him a bag.
84. It was like 5 years, 84, 82 million, something like that. I mean, it was a good bag, but none was bigger than Von Miller bag though.
Oh,
shout out to Von Miller agent, bro. Yeah. I don't know how you get a 32-year-old pass rusher, $120 million, but shout out to you. 6 years, $120 million. He going to the Bills. Shout out to Von Miller's agent. He did his job.
Yeah, shout out to Von Miller. I mean, he helped the Rams win the Super Bowl, and now he's getting his money's worth. I think the Bills too. I think they almost made it to the Super Bowl last year. They didn't lose in that. They were beating the Chiefs, right? And then
they lost in that overtime. Their offense ain't get to touch the ball.
Wasn't that like a game before wasn't that like a divisional title game?
Divisional game. It was a divisional round. I think it was a divisional round game.
So I mean, they already got they got a good roster. I mean, Josh Allen is like still a really young generational, type of quarterback.
I get that move because I get the move of getting Von Miller because you felt like you was one defensive stop away from beating the Chiefs to possibly go to another Super Bowl. Yeah. I just don't know if I'd have been 6 years, $120 million to a 32-year-old pass rusher who about to turn 33 this month. I don't know if I'd have gave him that kind of bag, but teach his own.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, when you put it that way, I didn't know he was even, that age. So he would be 37, 38 by the time his contract's up.
Yeah, and listen, unless he become the Tom Brady of pass rusher and play that hard for a long time, the Bills look like geniuses out here.
Shoot, let's get into Tom Brady. So what was your initial reaction when you heard the news that Tom Brady was unretiring?
It ain't take long. I'm like, well, that ain't take long. It was only a month. Not take long at all.
I almost drove my car off the hill. I was like, oh, shit.
I honestly want to, he felt like unfinished business on the field. I don't know how his wife feel about it. I don't know, because I feel like that was part of the reason he retired, because that was what he said in his statement, and now he's coming back. So it's like, did you talk with them again? Or like, what was going on? Tom? Like, did you fight? Did you tell them even though I announced I'm retired, but we still gonna have this conversation again? Like,
there was something about a ploy to to like avoid the 49ers or something, because I think the 49ers were trying to snatch him, but he didn't want to go there. I don't
I
know. I heard
mean,
something weird was happening, so that's why he retired.
but I mean, he still had one more year on his contract with Tampa. So it's
Yeah.
like if he played this year out, he's gonna be a free agent, and whatever happens can happen.
So do you think he retires next year, or do you think he just, if he has a good year, wins the Super Bowl this upcoming season, think he plays till he's like 50?
Man, I mean, he can. Shit, I mean, I don't. You can never really count against Tom Brady, but it's like they lost a lot. They also lost a lot of key pieces on that O line. So I mean, one of the guys
Yeah.
retired, one of the guys signed with Cleveland in those guard spots. So that's gonna be key.
I heard they're trying to bring back Gronkowski, so that would be a nice addition. They're able to.
Yeah, but Gronk ain't about to play guard. So I mean, you got to find somebody to play guard.
Yeah, have they signed any free agents like at the like wide receivers, the receivers, or anything like that?
Well, they
Any
re-signed Chris
notables?
Godwin. I know they did re-sign Chris Godwin. So they a lot of time they mostly retain their own guys. So they may look for in the draft to get some O linemen to step up and help Brady. Get some youth on the O line.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was kind of shocked by the news. I think I'm happy for him though. He probably was like, you know,
He didn't really want to retire.
he probably couldn't stand being with his wife or something, for however long he was retired for. So he's like, oh shit, I got to come back. But
He's like, I can't do this driving the minivan to school stuff no more.
yeah, he probably was like, I did this parenting thing for a little bit, and now I got to get back on the field. So, I'm happy for him, and we'll see if he's able to, get back on his groove. I know he was kind of on a decline this past season. Seemed like he didn't really have the same, type of production that he had.
Well, for like the last about 6 years now, six some years, a lot of times when Tom Brady lost in the playoffs, he followed it up and winning the Super Bowl. We'll see if he continue that pattern, and maybe he'll retire then.
Yeah. So which teams do you think might have, gotten worse or have not made like the necessary moves during free agency to make a run next year?
Well, I mean, I always look at my Eagles and we didn't get a receiver. So I mean, we need another receiver. Plus, I'm also keeping my eyes on the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, which Cleveland is out now on that. And
isn't that the dude that who's the dude that got into trouble at that massage parlor? Was that wasn't Deshaun Watson, was it? The guy that got into some trouble. He played for the Cowboys. Was that Amari Cooper?
No, that was a dude. That would sound like a dude from back. Sound like a dude from way back. I remember that, but it wasn't recent.
See, I can't. Name doesn't click right now. But you said so. You think the Eagles might have,
Well, I think they need to make some. Well, I think they could make some moves at receiver because I mean, with Amari Cooper getting traded to Cleveland, they released Jarvis, so that's a guy they could pick up. Also, the Browns got a little drama going on with them because with them being in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, it had Baker in his feelings a little bit, and now he wants to trade. The Browns have already said, since the Browns are out of Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, they ain't gonna get Deshaun. They pretty much told Baker we ain't trading you.
Yeah. So Baker Mayfield wants out of Cleveland already?
Yeah, he wants out. I mean, he feels some type of way. They tried to replace him with Deshaun Watson, so he feels some type of way. He just feels a little bit. He's like, I didn't think I was good enough now. He don't want to be there.
Well, do you think it's because, do you think Cleveland's another team that, although they added, some talent with Amari Cooper, do you think they still need to make improvements?
I think they need to figure out this. I think now they have a quarterback situation because now you have a guy who doesn't want to be there, who's talented but not really a bona fide star in Baker. But you don't have nobody to replace him because you were trying to get Deshaun Watson, but Since Deshaun has a no trade clause, he can say no to whatever team doesn't want to go to.
Mm.
And he said no to Cleveland. So now, if you're Cleveland, you're in this spot where you have Baker who don't want to be there. So you can either trade him to possibly. We know Jimmy G's on the way out in San Fran, so you can trade him to San Fran, possibly get Jimmy G, which to me is kind of the same thing because even though Baker is somewhat available and performs poorly at times, Jimmy G performs well and sometimes is not available.
Mm-hmm.
So then you got to look at other options. Maybe you sign a Jameis Winston. That could possibly work.
See a free agent?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Okay.
So maybe a Jameis could possibly work. Maybe you and honestly, anybody else from there is pretty much going down because you don't want to sign somebody like a Sam Darnold. We already seen that he cannot play this league.
Well, you have to definitely
know who else you can trade.
Yeah.
If you're the Browns, you're kind of in a stuck situation.
Well, especially with the the 2022 draft doesn't really have a lot of quarterback, right? So
not that
kind of have to look at the market to see if you're to try to acquire top tier quarterback, but just feel like I think Cleveland just has to stick it out with kind of reminds me of the Aaron Rodgers situation,
But you can't stick that out because it's just gonna be a locker room cancer. The relationship's already too far gone. So you bring him in there, he doesn't want to play. At the end of the day, if he doesn't play, you'll find him if he doesn't. But if he's in that locker room, he doesn't want to be there. Everybody's gonna feel that vibe. Everybody's gonna feel that aura. And then he's the quarterback. He's gonna get the most attention. So all he's gonna do is talk about how he doesn't want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, if you're in the Browns, you are not in a winning situation.
Do you think this Baker Mayfield drama is more dramatic than the Aaron Rodgers fiasco in Green Bay?
A little bit, yeah, because Baker's younger, and like the Browns said, they want an adult as a quarterback. So that means you're saying Baker Mayfield is immature.
Immature, yeah.
So this can only get worse. From just the output of what Baker may possibly say, what Baker may possibly do. Like it can only get worse.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I don't know. Cleveland had a decent season. Were they in the playoffs last season?
No.
Okay, but I know like the year before, I think, or something like that, they were they showed some hope that they would contend or be at least a playoff team. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know Baker was bitching like that, but.
Yeah, he did say he wants to go to the Colts, so maybe
okay. Well, are the Colts, since they traded Wentz to the Commanders, right? So do they need any quarterback or?
Well, yeah, they need a quarterback. They're kind of in a win now situation, so you do need a quarterback.
Or have they picked anyone up yet at the quarterback?
No, they haven't picked anyone up yet, and they have a lot of cap. So they can sign a guy. So they can easily sign a guy if they want to, or if they want to trade for Baker, they can do that. It's just everything is going to be dependent on where Deshaun Watson goes. Because you got to think about it. The three teams that's still in the sweepstakes for Deshaun Watson is the Saints, Panthers, and Falcons. Yeah. If he chooses to go to the Falcons, that means Matt Ryan's available.
Mm.
If he chooses to go to the Saints, or any of the other teams, you don't really have too many picks.
So wherever Deshaun Watson, right? Signs that
so
will have like a domino.
So how we were waiting on Aaron Rodgers, now we're waiting on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and then whenever those type of talents make their moves, it kind of has like a domino effect for the rest of the league. And then, so yeah, I think the Colts definitely need to improve, in my opinion. What do you think? I think
they need to find a consistent quarterback because year by year we're talking about them getting a quarterback, plugging in a guy. They need to find a consistent guy that they like that can stay there.
What about the Cowboys? Do you think Think they're doing good so
We
far?
can say they all right. The Cowboys.
Do you
The
think?
Cowboys
Do you
are
think?
always gonna
Who's what's the owner's name?
be Jerry Jones.
What did you say?
I was gonna say the Cowboys are always gonna be Jerry Jones's show.
Yeah, Jerry Jones.
It's gonna always be that. He's gonna always have his hand in it some kind of way, and just like how every Cowboys fans are always like, well, when Jerry go just step off and let somebody else be the GM and play in the background. Never.
Mm.
He's never gonna do that.
He always wants to, be in the action. But do you think that? Oh yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Jerry not gonna fire himself.
Oh no, he's gonna be on a yacht making moves. Like that's just how he rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the Cowboys? I don't know. Who did they signed a few players? I think right. What
They gave, I believe they gave Michael Gallup a deal, which I'm not too sure about that because I mean the dude, yeah, he produced as your number 2 receiver, but it's as your number 2 receiver. Now when you the number 1 guy and you got number 1 guys lined up for you each and every week, that's a little different.
Mm.
If Jalen Ramsey on Amari Cooper and you got the next guy that's on the Rams roster, that's different from Jalen Ramsey being over you.
Is he available?
Who?
Jalen Ramsey, yeah.
Nah,
or
he gonna.
he's still on the Rams, I believe, right?
Yeah, he's still on the Rams.
All right, that's good.
They signed Allen Robinson.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that was
3 years, 45.
Yeah, I was honestly I don't know who that is, but I heard he's pretty good. So I was.
Well, he's a good wide receiver. I mean, you just ain't really heard too much of him because of the stops he's been in. He was in Jacksonville. He was in Chicago. 2 places that really didn't have a quarterback at the time he was there. Justin Fields came along during his last year, but
yeah, I think that's
all the Chicago quarterbacks were irrelevant.
What position is he?
Wide receiver.
So does that mean that the Rams are going to get rid of Odell, or is he still on contract?
They say they still got some money. Well, he's a free agent, but they say they still got some money for Odell if he wants to come back. So if Odell would come back, their Rams wide receiver core would be Cooper Kupp, who just won the Triple Crown, Robert Woods, who's coming off an injury, who's playing well, Allen Robinson, and if Odell come back, you got Odell.
I wasn't impressed with Odell on the Rams.
He did his thing. He did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah,
I feel like he did. I feel like he did his thing. I feel like Odell did his thing and showed the world that he could still play. That it wasn't him in Cleveland; it was Baker. We all kind of see that now.
Yeah, sucks that he had it. I mean, it was unfortunate he got injured during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's such a big name. I expected a little bit more out of him for the Rams,
well, I mean,
but they won. So
he showed he can go different places and play different roles. Now, say would he want to go back to the Rams with all those wide receivers in there who are gonna want the ball, and also you got tight end Tyler Higbee who's gonna want to get the ball thrown to him. That's a lot of people throw the ball to. Mm-hmm. Somebody ain't gonna get their numbers.
Yeah, they definitely have. They're already filled in my opinion. Like,
now, if you're Odell, you can just come to Philly easily. We welcome you with open arms. You come to Philly.
You an Eagles fan?
Yeah.
You're not even from Philly.
No, I'm not. But
are you 76ers fan?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I mean, they're pretty good this year.
They are. I mean, the NBA so up and down. I'm a fan of the players. I rep the home team Pelicans, but I'm mostly a fan of the players.
Okay, so you're a Pelicans fan.
Yeah.
Oh, have they surpassed the Lakers yet?
Not yet. We close though. Without the Lakers losing, we close.
So if the Pelicans surpassed the Lakers in seeding, does that mean what's the difference? What's the difference between the 9th and the 10th seed in seeding?
Right. So that means in the play-in that the Lakers surpass the Pelicans, they'll play the Clippers in that 8-9 matchup.
Yeah.
And Lakers will play the Wolves in that 7-10 matchup.
Oh, okay. So it'd be 7 and 10, 8 and 9?
Yeah, that's how the play. It's 7-10,
Shoot.
8-9, and the 9
You
and
already
10
know the
team.
Wolves are gonna kill the Lakers if that happens. If the
Yeah.
Lakers get that 10th.
Well, since you teed it up for me, let's just go there with them since they played the other night. Since you didn't teed it up,
Yeah, I was watching that. Wasn't fun.
it's never fun for a Lakers fan this year because LeBron pretty much got to score 50 for the win.
I think I stopped watching like 20 games ago just to improve my mental health.
Did you see Carl the entire reaction to Russell Airball?
Oh yeah, he was.
Looking up like
Yeah.
we had a win at the gym because they played too much against the Lakers, man.
Yeah, they were clowning on them. I think Pat Beverly was calling Westbrook trash, and then Anthony Towns was making some fun with that air ball.
Yeah. Anthony Edwards was waving goodbye to the Lakers at the end of the game.
Yeah, I hope the Lakers don't play the Wolves, man. That would.
They will. They probably will. And then what's crazy about it was Westbrook's post game comments. Westbrook really tried to deflect everything in the post game comments, because they was asking about the Wolves talking trash. He was like, it's good for the team who ain't really done nothing and all of that. Like he started talking about how he won MVPs and all that. Like we ain't asking you about all that, bro. We asking you about this season where you have done absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to, I don't know. He doesn't really seem to care at this point. He's just trying to get through the season and then pack his bags probably, and who knows where. I think Westbrook's still a good player. I mean, he's made a big contribution to the NBA. I mean, averaging triple doubles damn near every season for the past 3 out of 4 seasons. Mm-hmm. So I still think he's a impactful player, but this just hasn't clicked with the Lakers. But yeah, I do think though that people are just escalating, or just like, sorry about the background noise, but I think people are just all the name calling and just all that. It's just out of control because every game I'm seeing there's video clips of just people just trash talking on to him and everything. It's like, but then the problem is that he reacts to the fans calling him names and everything. So then it kind of goes hand in hand with all that.
Yeah. And then you talk about like people be talking to his family and all that about how trash he is. Chances are, if your family is sitting in the stands at a game, them people don't know that's your family. They ain't gonna know that. Ain't like they look up you every day on Instagram or something to see who your family is, so they could purposely heckle you in front of your family. Like, that don't happen like that.
Yeah. So,
well, I mean, my thing is, I don't feel like he'll be back with the Lakers, and if I'm the Lakers, I'm trading.
What do the Lakers do this summer? Do they trade Westbrook?
You trade Russ for Dame, because Portland's about to be in the rebuilding process anyway.
I don't think Portland's going to want to deal him to the Lakers, though. They despise them.
I mean, sure, you got to deal him to somebody. You already act like y'all wasn't going to rebuild and dealt CJ at their line, and I'm pretty sure Dame wasn't happy with that.
What the hell is Portland doing? They traded away down there the whole roster.
Mm-hmm.
And
and to me, I think they're going to a rebuild, and to me, if they are, give Chauncey Billups a fair chance.
Going to a rebuild, do they have any picks?
I hope they have some picks. I hope they have something.
Or are they just trying to deplete their roster to rebuild in 5 years?
I mean, if anything, if they do, if whatever they plan is, they better give Chauncey Billups a fair chance. Don't hire that man to set him up for failure. That's my whole thing.
Well, Portland was coming into the season looking to at least compete.
Yeah, and then they decided halfway through that these ain't the waters they want to be in, and now they just like, okay, we already sinking in these waters that we thought we was gonna swim in, so now let's just full on sink. So now you traded CJ at the deadline. Dame's still out hurt, and just looking at this like, what? Damn.
I got rid of Larry Nance too, huh? Right? Oh
Yeah,
they traded for him.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
somehow they traded for him. They CJ was the main person they got rid of. 'Cause I think they still had a guy like Nolan Powell and all them. Like, but they pretty much you got rid of your backcourt stars when one guy was already down. So you pretty much giving up on that error. So you going into a rebuild, regardless of how we look at it. They're going into a rebuild, and I get they probably don't want to trade Dame to the Lakers, but who else you really gonna trade him to that he'll want to go to?
Yeah, not that the Lakers were trying to trade for or I heard, there was going to be a trade for John Wall and all that, but that never happened.
Yeah, that didn't fall through. They'll go send Russ back to Houston.
Yeah. But so if the Lakers, if they fall back to that 10th seed, does that mean that they would have to beat the Wolves and then they would have to beat whoever wins the winner of the 8 and 9?
Yeah, that's exactly what it means. So they'll have to beat the Timberwolves, who currently sit at 7th, and whoever the 8-9 winner would be.
Yeah, that's a huge task. I don't think they're going to be able to pull that off.
It's not. And while we on the Lakers, Anthony Davis had the nerve to open his mouth and say, "I would say if I was healthy, we'd have beat the Suns last year." You do realize nobody care about that right now? You see how?
I heard about that.
Nobody care about if you was healthy last season. Y'all to beat the Suns. First of all, no, probably wouldn't have. Secondly, you ain't barely played this year, bro. Stop being Mr. Glass, bro. You see LeBron, he way older than you. Been in the league since you was in high school, since you was in middle school, and his body is better than yours. He don't get hurt like you get hurt. The man invested money in his body while you out here just chilling, getting hurt, chilling on the bench.
Yeah, they wouldn't have beat Phoenix. Phoenix is they play with like the way they play is just out completely different from how the Lakers play. Like they have an identity. They run play sets, and that would not happen.
Yeah, I don't know how to go. But as far as Dame, I just looked up his contract. He still got 4 years left on his deal, so the money would probably add up if they trade for Westbrook.
Damn, Dame Lillard to the Lakers would be. I don't know. I think
they need to make it happen. Make it happen, LA. Make it happen.
Make it happen. I would be happy.
This is your only chance. This is your only chance to keep LeBron. If you trade for Damian Lillard,
you think
ain't nobody else really gonna be good enough that's gonna be available.
Well, I mean, LeBron, man. Let's talk about LeBron, and he's been going on a tear lately, and they're still losing. But he's had like a 56. He's had a few 50-point games.
That's the only way they go in.
But even the whole league has been on a tear if you think about it, though. With Karl Anthony Towns having 60 the other night, Kyrie having was it 60 for Kyrie?
60 points in like 24 minutes.
Yeah, it's like effortless right now.
Man, the man's box office, man.
I made a meme the other day. I'm like, like in 2K when you could put the sliders down to rookie difficulty. I'm like, the league is in rookie difficulty right now with all these players scoring, 70 points every night. But yeah. So what are your thoughts on that, man? Like, why do you think LeBron kind of started this whole uptrend of points for like the whole league? Because it seems like ever since he had that 50-point game, or 50, it was 56, I think, against Golden State, the whole league is just like scoring. There's like
because when Tatum had his output,
Or do you think it was before LeBron? Was it Tatum that started this trend?
Well, Tatum already said when LeBron put a 56 up, it inspired him. So we could say LeBron started it.
Okay.
But we can also say LeBron has to because of his team. He has to put up those points and no win.
Yeah.
Kyrie just a showstopper, man. Kyrie just he go out there, he ball he go like Kyrie really just.
I think Kyrie had to buy courtside tickets. I think the last time.
Oh yeah, and the league fined them for letting them in the locker room.
Shoot.
Find the Nets.
But yeah, I mean, he made that look effortless. I mean, you said in 24 minutes he scored 60. Like,
I mean, when you ain't playing home games, you playing part time. You're a little more rested, And like you said, Kyrie's game has always been that effortless skill based game. So I mean, you go. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
He just wish that he would be available more to do this on a more consistent basis.
The way he sits out half the game, so I mean,
and then it's against the Magic.
Oh, what are they? Aren't they like the worst record in the East?
Second worst to Detroit.
They're what are they? 18-55 or something?
Something like that. I'd have been impressed if it was against Philly or somebody. Like, don't get me wrong, they did have a good showing against Philly when they played against James Harden. But I mean, it was all right. It was all right. But he put a 60 on the Magic. Like he could have.
I could have done that.
Yeah, like you could have went to Disney World all day and came back and then played and did that against the Magic.
I don't think the Magic are trying. They're probably just trying to get shit Holmgren or it sounds like I said shit, but or what's his face?
That would be nice.
Yeah, they're probably just trying to tank right now. So yeah, I think I could. But I mean, I wonder if someone's gonna try to, break the record for most points scored soon. At this point, the way things are going, which player do you think would be able to, maybe even surpass Kobe for that 81 points? Do you think we're gonna see a player? Do you think we're gonna see like a player like Steph Curry or something sometime soon? Get like
maybe, but Steph just hurt his ankle. So he gonna be out to the playoffs.
Yeah, because it's been a while since someone has scored over 70, right? I think Devin Booker was like
60's been the most we kind of been seeing.
Yeah,
but so it's coming close to that 81 with Kobe. No, I don't think nobody will come that close.
I feel like Lillard or something would like do something like that. I don't know, I don't know. I thought Harden would be able to, but I don't know. You just have to.
Since we brought up Steph, I guess we could talk about the injury. He had on the play with Marcus Smart. Yeah. Marcus Smart dove for the ball. Steph kind of was just like reaching for it. Marcus Smart put that effort out and dived for it and kind of rolled up on Steph's ankle. It was just interesting to me because afterwards, Steve Kerr was like, "Oh, it was a dangerous play." And Draymond called it unnecessary, which I find is weird for Draymond to call any effort play unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, hopefully he just rests, gets plenty of rest, and is ready for the playoffs because the Warriors need Steph to, So is there any news on that? Is he going to be back for the playoffs?
They're hopeful he's back for the playoffs. Right now he's just out indefinite because it's a sprained ligament in his left foot, so.
He needs to ice that up.
You gotta be careful with those ligaments in the foot. And my thing is, I was just like, when I heard the comments from Steve Kerr and Draymond, I was just like, let's be real. It wasn't a dangerous play. Marcus Smart dove for the ball. He went all out for the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it happened. It's like it happened. You saying that and Draymond called it unnecessary. Y'all saying that because that's y'all guy. Let's just be real. That's y'all guy, so y'all go say that. Y'all feel like y'all got to step up for him. That's just y'all guy. That's the reason why y'all saying it. Because at the same time, Draymond would have probably dove for a ball too.
So was
And
it
and
Draymond and
Draymond,
Steve Kerr that were saying that it was
yeah,
an unnecessary play by
yeah.
Steph
Draymond said unnecessary. Draymond said he felt it was unnecessary, and Steve Kerr felt like it was a dangerous play.
for Marcus Smart or for Steph
Yes,
Curry to
it was
hustle?
dangerous that Marcus Smart dove for the ball because it was dangerous
Okay,
to do that because of what happened.
I haven't caught the replay on it yet, but I did hear that Curry, know, sprained his foot.
Yeah,
So, but
my
yeah, I mean, I
thing
don't
was
think. I mean, that's how Marcus Smart plays. I mean, he's just a hustle player.
exactly.
You know.
And my thing is, I
Yeah,
always found it weird for Draymond to call any player necessary when he the same dude that kicked Steven Adams in the groin. So I mean, you could miss me with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was thinking of another player that I think wasn't it some player that wasn't it was it Steve Adams who kicked Kawhi Leonard? That was someone who injured Kawhi a few years ago. I forgot who it was.
that's Zada Pachulia. You talking when he slid up on the
Oh yeah, I was thinking of
court.
that dude. Yeah, that dude
Yeah,
was pretty dirty too.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Marcus Smart was trying to do anything intentional.
Nah, he was he wasn't. Like that was just him making a hustle play. He wasn't
But
trying to
it's
do
just
anything.
it's
You can see it
unfortunate.
was a basketball play. You can see that it was.
Yeah. Well, that the timing is not good for the Warriors to be losing Steph.
Yeah.
At this point in the regular season,
Mhm.
it's not as important. But approaching the playoffs, if he's not ready for the playoffs, and they're playing, I don't know, the Clippers. I mean, that could be disaster for the Warriors without Curry.
And what's crazy is their projected starting five going into this season has only played 7 seconds together.
That's probably because Klay Thompson is like,
Well, that and James Wiseman been out.
oh yeah, is Wiseman, will he be back this year?
I feel like he will. I know they say he been playing a couple G League games like rehab and stuff. So I
Mm.
feel like he will. And another guy is Andrew. I haven't seen a lot of him. Do you know if Andrew Wiggins is hurt or not? Because I haven't seen him in a minute either.
I haven't seen him have the same contribution that he had prior to All Star break, but I think he's I think he's still playing.
I will believe.
But wasn't he like, I don't know? I feel like he was better before the All Star break, and then he became an All Star, and then he kind of, I think it got to his head a little bit. Let me look it up. Or are you looking it up?
Yeah. So Andrew Williams missed his second straight consecutive game. All right, so he had a general illness, so he didn't play last game, because he had a general illness. So he's been kind of consistently in the lineup and stuff for the most part. But but yeah, it's like you had guys in and out the lineup, and now Steph goes down. So now it's a little bit of a turbulent season health wise for them.
Yeah. Yeah, with Klay Thompson, being out for 2 years and then making his way back, trying to integrate into the team. Now Steph Curry's out, and even Draymond Green. I think is he back yet? I know he was out.
He was out for a while, but he came back.
So he came back, but now Steph is out.
Steph scored 40. Yeah, the game Steph scored 47 was Draymond's first game back from that back injury.
Mm. So was it the first game Draymond came back? Is when
The
Steph.
Celtics games was the second game back.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to see the Warriors when they're at full strength. I think with Wiseman, once Wiseman comes back, and Steph Curry comes back with a.
I mean, it's opening up everything for my pick, John Morant and the Grizzlies to do their thing and possibly come out the West. Big fan of John.
I don't even think anyone was expecting Memphis to make the playoffs. Probably,
especially not being tossed to the West.
Well, I think they showed promise last year, but no one was expecting this, quick of a jump from Memphis. I think that Steven Adams trade sort of propelled them to, a higher level. I mean, they were good with Valanciunas, but yeah, I think Steven Adams. Who else? Desmond Bane. He's an underrated player.
I think
He's a knockdown shooter for them.
Yeah, I think the Valanciunas and Adams trade really been working out for both sides because it was kind of what both sides needed.
Yeah,
Valanciunas in New Orleans, he's doing good being a post scorer and so because you need that with Zion being out, and shout out to Zion being around the Pelicans for the first time.
Yeah, they say he lost like 40 pounds.
I mean, yeah, he looking a little better now.
I think it was 30 pounds that he lost.
He looking a little better. He looking a little better now. He ain't looking like he.
What the hell's up with Zion? Is he just like not wanting to play? Because I don't think he's injured at this point.
I don't know, man. Because now he's back around the team. So we really don't know.
It kind of reminds me of the Ben Simmons situation.
I don't think he's as bad as Ben Simmons, but
I think he's more low key about it or something. I don't know.
But the foot injuries, I mean, that ain't too much to really play with. So honestly, I wouldn't. With Zion, I probably wouldn't come back either. Because I mean, you got a chance to make the play in, but how far are you really gonna make it in the playoffs? If you out here and you about to play,
I mean, if Zion comes back, I mean, with McCollum and all that,
it gets him like a fight, yeah.
I mean, shit, they should have kept Lonzo and they would be set. But I think that's where the Pelicans screwed up. They also got rid of they have Devontae Graham, right? So
yeah, they shouldn't have traded. They shouldn't have got him. I don't know what.
I
don't know why they didn't get him. The Pelicans always get people that's past their prime. They 2 years past their prime, and for some reason the Pelicans still think they got some game in them.
Well, David Griffin's just trying to, make the. I think that's why he traded for McCollum and all those. He's just trying to keep his job.
I mean, trading for McCollum was good. I mean, David Griffin, you expect as a Pelicans fan, you expecting more from him. You wasn't expecting him to get Devontae Graham because like you said, that's a player that's 2 years past his prime. That's what the Pelicans been doing. You got to do something different.
Yeah, the Pelicans, man, they're definitely interesting.
I mean, but the East is loaded on there. Well, you look on the other side, it's legitimate 6 teams that can come out there that you can make an argument for. You got Milwaukee, Philly, Miami, Brooklyn, Boston. Leaving somebody out. I think Chicago. I think someone else left out. Or did I say Chicago?
What two teams do you see making it out or in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna go Philly and Miami.
Philly and Miami? Oh, okay. I agree with you on Philly, but I mean, it's not the bubble, man. This ain't the bubble. You know what I mean? Miami's not this. I don't think they were as good as the bubble team.
I mean, sure, they pretty much they almost the same team though. And it's like they added PJ Tucker and now Tyler Hero is taking the next step.
Was Kyle Lowry on the bubble team?
Well, no, he was on the bubble team. But you got Kyle, and like you said, you got Kyle Lowry. So I mean, they could be in it.
They're the number 1 seed right now.
Yeah, and they got the best coach in the game.
Damn, that's a bold statement. But yeah, I think I agree.
You ain't that bold? Who better than Spoelstra right now?
I don't know, Budenholzer?
No.
I think, yeah.
I don't think so.
Are you saying that because he's the longest tenured? Or do you think he's just like the best? Like,
I think he's the best. I mean, him having a long tenure is part of it. Like, I mean, just like with Pop, we consider Pop one of the best. Why?
Oh, yeah, Popovich. I think Popovich, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think he's a better coach. Yeah.
Yeah, he good, but but you need some players. After Tim Duncan them left, it's been a struggle for Pop. Eric Spoelstra
Yeah.
has sex with LeBron. You recycling, had sex with Jimmy Butler, would have success with Jimmy and Kyle Lowry, with Bam Adebayo coming up, Tyler Hero's development. The man, that's what I'm saying. He's the best in the game. The man he's surviving. He's surviving this test of time right now.
I would say for me, I would go with Philly and I got to go with Milwaukee. I think those are the top two teams, and it would make most sense for them to play in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Can you mad at this?
What was that?
So can you mad at that one, man? I mean, because honestly, I think Boston has a chance to get into the way they're playing.
Is Boston playing better now? Because they were struggling earlier.
Yeah, they one of the hotter teams right now.
Yeah,
they probably the hottest team in the league.
I heard I think Jason Tatum is balling out right now. Right?
And Jaylen Brown.
Oh, they finally figured it out.
Did you see him dunk over boy? But it was a Dallas. Max Cleveland, man. He dunked over that boy so vicious, and then dapped KG up after it.
Oh, is that the KG during the KG?
That was the game of the KG jersey. Yeah, that was the game of the KG retirement jersey. Yeah. That man took off and dunked on this man so hard. I watched it in real time. When you watch somebody like that take off in real time, it feels different.
You were at the game?
Nah, I wasn't at the game. I watched it on TV. But it feels different when you watch it in real time.
Yeah, well, I know that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were kind of like they were struggling to like be compatible, but I guess they were looking at trades even to kind of separate. I think they were looking at trades for Jaylen Brown, right? Because they didn't think he would mesh.
They figured out on the defensive end. You
think that's what it is?
The offense come easy
because what are they? A fast-paced team, right? So if they play good defense, they just get out on the fast break.
Yeah, they've been and not only that, Jason Taylor and Jaylen Brown been hitting their shots. Jaylen Brown been getting to the rim. Jason Tatum been hitting step backs and midi pull-ups on people like a baby KD out here. And they've been holding teams to under 100 points a game. If you can do that in today's NBA, you go win most of your games.
So do you think Boston? Do you think they could, if they keep up this play, then they could make the finals?
They got a chance. They got a chance. Because at the end of the day, playoffs is different than regular season.
They always struggle against teams like Philly, though.
Well, yeah, because it's hard to match up with Joel Embiid's size. Robert Williams is dope. He doing his thing down there at the center position. But if he going up against Joel Embiid every night on the block, that's go wear him down a little bit. You got to bang with Joel every night.
That's always, I mean, prayers to anyone who has to guard Joel Embiid. That guy's massive.
Real, man.
So you said Miami versus what was your other team?
Philly.
Oh yeah. So who would win Miami Philly series?
Philly.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, who's gonna take James? Like you put Jimmy on James, but then you put Jimmy on James.
Well, how's James been playing since he went what 1 for 30? How has James been playing since he went 1 for 30 like a few nights ago?
He played a couple of games. He's doing that man like that 1 for 30.
Has he stepped it up?
Yeah, he been stepping it up, man. He been all right. Philly been all right. Joel put up good numbers on his birthday. See, everybody seems to be putting up good numbers on their birthday in the league too, though.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice right there. I think Philly's destined for the finals as long as they stay healthy. What do you think?
Like, yeah, but I mean, I feel like you can make a lot of argument for a lot of the teams in the East. Like I said, they can make Boston with how they're doing. You can make the argument for Chicago with how the Rosen been playing, with
Oh
how
shoot,
both
my bad.
teams coming together.
I was a
Hmm?
believer in Chicago earlier this year, but I don't know.
I mean, like it's easy. Like the East so up and down. It's easy to be on them one week and then the next week if they ain't making too
Well,
much
they
noise,
need
ain't
Lonzo
nobody
Ball.
else.
They need Lonzo
Well,
Ball back.
I mean, you gonna get back. You gonna get healthy.
Yeah, if
So
he's
you can. So
if he's
you can
back.
make an argument for them.
Hmm.
And of course, obviously, Brooklyn, you can make an argument for them with the talent they have. I mean, to me, it just depends on are you going to have part time Kyrie or is it going to be full
Yeah, it's
time
not gonna
Kyrie?
change. With the city mandates and all that, which it's just ridiculous. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna change with Kyrie playing more time.
Yeah.
Um,
So I don't think with a part time Kyrie they get that, but I think with a full time Kyrie it's possible.
Dang. So yeah, I just realized. So Kyrie's still in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
And they
And they
need Ben.
talking
So
about Ben Simmons. They talking about Ben
so
Simmons might come
I mean,
in
yeah,
like the latter weeks of the season.
that's crazy. You got
So they pretty much just trying to throw
two
this
players
together.
on Brooklyn right now for the Brooklyn Nets that are playing part time. One of them aren't even playing.
Right. But to me, the problem with the way the Nets is like they have the talent, and they figure they can just throw this all together. So that's my only downfall with the Nets. I feel like them trying to just throw it all together is going to be their downfall.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I think I don't think they've their own like Are you talking about like random pieces that they've thrown together? Because I think
Well, I'm
I
talking
think
about
they've
them.
played enough time together to kind of be
Well, yeah,
formidable.
Ben Simmons ain't played no time with them, no.
Yeah,
So I feel like them trying to
but
say
I
Ben
think
Simmons
Ben
gonna come
Simmons
back
could kind
these
of
couple of weeks of the season, and yeah, even though he mostly gonna be asked to be a playmaker and defender, and that'll be easy to plug in. At the end of the day, when you get in a 7 game series, you gonna need this man to do something on offense in a half court game. So when you get in a series and you constantly going head up against a team weekend, day in and day out, well, every other day because that's how they play the series. But either way, day in and day out, you going up against a team,
yeah.
and you gotta have that chemistry. You gotta be locked in. Where is that gonna be with Ben Simmons?
Well, I feel like Ben Simmons, you could just plug him into any team, and he would just be a great fit. But like you said, on the offensive end is where, especially during the playoffs, like how is he going to fit with that?
Mm-hmm.
He's just gonna have to pass the ball. Joe Harris to I don't know.
So Harris ain't coming back though.
What else they got? They got some decent role players, but
Well, yeah, they got different. They got Steph Curry and all of that. So,
they have a
they
few
got some
decent role
good
players, and
teams.
then they just have players that I have no clue like who they are. To be honest, G League players.
Yeah, I was saying they have some pieces. Like don't get me wrong, they have some pieces.
Mm.
But I just don't like the idea of them feeling like they can throw it all together and then come out of the East because they're so talented. Like,
Yeah,
I just don't think that's gonna be the deal.
yeah, it's really tight right now in the East. That's for
Yeah,
sure. Was it like this last year, or is this year's just a really tight race?
it wasn't like this last. It was close to like this last year, but I mean, yeah, I think with Chicago's new that's in that mix. Boston's not really new that's in the mix, but they're playing better than what they did last year.
Cleveland.
Cleveland's new in the mix, even though we don't expect them to beat nobody that's
Is
contending for the
Charlotte? Is
title.
Charlotte in the mix?
I think they're in the play-in mix. I think they're in that mix. I have it pulled up. Yeah, they're ninth. They're in the play-in, so they're in the spot right now. They're in the spot where they will
Melo
play.
needs some help.
I mean, you got Terry Rozier who comes out every now and then, has like a 30-point game.
Nah, they need like they need a big or like a I don't know, a Jimmy Butler type of player. Something like that.
Well, I mean, Miles Bridges is kind of becoming that Jimmy Butler type of player.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but yeah, big, they probably would need a big, though.
But they got Mason Plumlee right now. I think didn't they trade for someone during the deadline? What's his face? What's his name?
Sure.
But yeah, he wasn't really. Was it Aaron? No. I was gonna say Aaron Baines. I don't think he's even playing right now. I forget. But yeah.
I ain't really trade for too many big men. I mean, the only person new that I kind of see on there is like JT Thorne. I don't know exactly who.
You think Charlotte needs to get bigger?
Okay, well they added Montrezl Harrell. So
that's who I was saying. Yeah, that's who I was gonna say. Harrell. Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like they just don't have size. Got a lot of guards.
Yeah,
they're talented though, for sure.
That's why they're still alright. Like they need those guys to develop. I think Bridges developing. Bridges and Melo continue to develop and will kind of be the cornerstones of that team.
Yeah.
Like they'll be good. So like they'll be good.
Do you think they should consider trading Miles Bridges for someone better? Like I would have considered, when Jaylen Brown was available at the time. I don't think he's available anymore, but that would have been an interesting trade.
That would have been a very interesting trade. Miles Bridges for Jaylen Brown. I mean, it probably would have came at expense with a couple more picks too. You go get Jaylen Brown up out of the Boston. Danny Ainge even though Brad Stevens is in space now, I'm pretty sure he learned from Danny Ainge. We're not losing no trades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, I don't know. I think, I thought Charlotte would just be better. I think, but they just haven't.
It was probably a little more higher expectations for them. But I mean, I get credit to what credit's due. Cleveland surprising a lot of people. Chicago surprised a lot of people. Toronto's playing pretty decent. So
Toronto's playing really good. I think, if I were to have League Pass, I'd probably watch Toronto. But I think they're not even playing. They're not even playing in Toronto this year, right? Aren't they playing in? I thought they were playing in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, last year. They're back in Toronto this year.
Oh, okay. So I was watching like a Toronto Raptor highlights a few weeks ago. I didn't see any fans. So are they playing with no crowd or?
I wouldn't think they would. I've never heard anything like when they come out of Canada.
Yeah, so I was watching a Raptors game. I didn't see any fans in the stands. So I was like, are they still following the COVID protocol and all that? I have no clue, but
I wouldn't think Canada would be doing that though.
I think Canada is still really strict about it or something. I don't know. I want to look it up later, but yeah, Toronto is another interesting prospect. I think heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
they won a champion. They won a chip a few years ago, but that was when they had Kawhi and all that. Yeah. And Klay Thompson. That was when Klay Thompson, went down and all that.
He went down.
But I think Nick Nurse, he's kind of helped carry this team, to where they are now because, they lost a lot of that talent that helped them win but they've kind of Siakam has been pretty good this year. Started off slow and then kind of,
I'm still ready for him to take that next step, though, become that superstar.
I don't think he's ever going to become that superstar, but I think
I'm starting to think it too.
I think he's probably at his peak right now. But I mean, that's not bad. What do you think? You think he could step it up more? Or
Capable.
in my opinion,
We
he's
don't know if
just.
he's capable. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since Kawhi left. So
I think Pascal's just he's like your second or third best player on a team, but he's not like the focal, leader.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Been on for a little bit. Probably.
So I guess we get to
end it soon.
these NCAA upsets before we go.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts on March Madness so far and all the upsets? Well, I mean, has there been? I know there's been a few upsets.
Well, I mean, the ones that they have had so far. I mean, like with St. Peter's beating Kentucky. I mean, that they got hot from three. Anytime a team shoots 50% or more, or pretty much even 45 or more from three, that's a little hard to beat that team.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, that game, them and New Mexico State beating UConn.
Yeah, I saw that one. Oh, they beat UConn?
Yeah.
Wasn't UConn a top 5 seed?
Yeah, they were a 5th seed. So, I mean, both of those games, I mean, it's pretty much, teams got hot from three. Both of those teams got hot from three. So, I mean, it's hard to beat a team when you, especially in today's game, when they seem like they just making every shot.
Yeah, I was watching that game. It was close, heading into the final minutes, but
yeah,
damn, I can't believe Kentucky lost.
Yeah, that was kind of a tough one. And also, I was surprised with Iowa, with Richmond beating Iowa. Iowa was kind of one of my picks. They were kind of one of my picks to come out of it and make to the Final Four, man.
Yeah. Well,
guys just ain't hit shots. They All-American Keegan Murray, he showed up hitting shots and everything, but he didn't really have much help behind that.
Yeah, I think Iowa and Kentucky are the biggest upsets so far, in my opinion. Yeah, they have they got some, future, NBA prospects, right? On those teams.
They got some dudes on that team.
They just they didn't step up.
Madness. That's the thing with March Madness, though. If you have a bad night, you can be out of there.
Yep. It's like it's a single elimination, right? So it's more, competitive.
Yeah, somebody come out there and have a better 40 minutes than you. It's over with.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like tuned in, man. When March Madness games are on, I'm like, my eyes are glued to the TV.
Yeah. It's like, shout out to Jordan Howard, in Michigan. They turned it around, man. They were down 15 points against Colorado State.
Oh, yeah.
Turned around in that game.
Yeah, that team plays with a lot of heart, huh?
Yeah, they do. And in that game, they shot a lot more free throws than Colorado State. They had more free throw attempts, at least double the free throw attempts that Colorado had made. So they was getting to their line a lot in the second half.
So they were down in the second half by 15?
It was down in the first half by like 15. They cut it down. They had cut it down a little bit before going into halftime, and then they came out and just running the table.
Yeah, shout out to Michigan. Michigan. That's where John Howard played. That's why he's coaching. But I already went into John Howard and all that, like another podcast. So. But I think maybe the team's like, carrying his competitive spirit and all that. I don't know, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty.
Anytime they'll throw hands at the same time he throw hands, they got your back.
Yeah. What other crazy games have been played so far during the beginning of this March Madness tournament? Was today the first day? No, it's been on for a few days.
Well, the first 4 happened like a couple of days ago, but this is like the first round of 64.
I like it when it's cut down to I don't know. Oh shoot. Like the 16, like the Sweet 16.
Yeah,
that's when it gets really interesting. But
yeah,
it's definitely
You know, he had a couple of 8-9 matchups. You know, some of the 9 seeds won, which to me is never really too much of an upset when a 9 seed beats an 8 seed because it's like it was only a fine line that was between y'all anyway.
mm-hmm.
So, you know, Creighton won as a 9 seed against San Diego State. Memphis had won as a 9 seed beating Boise. Which those two games I wasn't really surprised about. I felt like those two 9 seeds are gonna win anyway. So, you know, I mean, and I guess Tennessee must have seen Kentucky get beaten. They handled business in their matchup. They was ready to ball. So Tennessee's probably one of my other sleepers. But yeah.
What about is Duke in it?
Yeah, Duke is in it. I think they played the other day.
That would be my. I don't think they're my sleeper, but that's my probably. Let's get Coach K. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, they play tomorrow. They play Cal Fullerton tomorrow.
Coach K needs to win one more March Madness championship or whatever it's called before he retires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but as far as tomorrow, what I'm looking for is what we consider the upset: Loyola Chicago over Ohio State. Loyola Chicago always play good in the tournament. I think they could bring it to Ohio State, and I think they can win that game.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's my one upset that I'm looking at. Is probably happen. Loyola Chicago over Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State's usually they make it pretty far in the tournament.
They
always have like a few players that are like pretty damn good.
Yeah, they always have like one or two. You know, they're pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like they got a pretty good big man, and one of the guys won freshman of the year, so they're a pretty solid team.
Mm.
And just, I mean, I've seen enough out of Loyola Chicago in the tournament for me to really be confident in them upsetting them.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see that game. Probably not going to watch it, but I'm still interested.
And what's crazy is how you know it's going to be a close matchup. Usually they'll have teams favored by a certain amount of points. The line is even in that 7-10 matchup. So,
is Ohio State 10th?
They're ranked they're a 7 seed. They're a 7 seed they're a 7 seed in the South region.
Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just not too familiar with college basketball, but I definitely tune into some of the March Madness games. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of dabble in a little bit.
Yeah, I dabble into it, like you said, but I'm more just interested in like the prospects, and like how they play. How do they play in college, and how will their skill set transfer to the NBA?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these guys who played and that's viewed at the top of the draft, like a Chet Holmgren, I feel like his rim protector skill will transfer.
Who?
Like Chet Holmgren, the guy from Gonzaga.
I think he's too lean or too skinny.
Well, I mean, yeah,
I don't think he's gonna really build. I mean,
he'll put weight on over time.
Yeah, he'll put on 20 pounds, but I don't think it's gonna be. I mean,
he's got to get in that weight room.
I mean, yeah, he could probably, build his frame up a little bit, but I mean, imagine him trying to guard Embiid. He's gonna get murdered.
I mean, hey, that's what happens with rookie in the league. Somebody go kick your ass, man. That's what happens.
What other? Do you think Paolo? Do you think he has potential to be a good player in the league?
I think him. I like Arvin's guy, Jabari Smith.
Mm.
I like him. I like those are three guys I really like the most for sure. I like Keegan Murray from Iowa. Got to see a lot of him being out here in Nebraska covering Big Ten. So I like him. I like him because he's a tall guy. Play on the wing. He can play on the wing. He can play the four, and he can shoot the ball. He
Yeah.
can shoot the
Well,
ball
those
well.
type of players are really needed right now
Oh
for
yeah.
NBA teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the top of these prospects, like the top 5, are pretty talented, and then there's kind of like a drop off. But then you do have some like some later picks or players that are kind of slept on that I think can make a pretty good contribution.
Mm-hmm.
I think Paolo's going to be a good player. I think might be like a Paul George type.
Yeah, I can see that.
Something. But yeah, I don't know about shit. I just don't know about him.
Man. Shit's gonna be good, man. You just gotta put some muscle on. He gonna be good. That.
I've been following. I mean, I've been following him for like a few years now. Like he was really good in high school, and I've been watching his highlights. People saying he's the next KD and all that. I don't know about that.
He don't got KD handles.
No, KD's on another. Yeah. I mean, KD came back from a torn Achilles, and he's what first in scoring right now.
He's close up.
He's chasing that scoring title. Like he's just on another level compared to everyone else. In my opinion, I think
Auburn's got a little more closer to that KD status than what they
they said Thon Maker was going to be the next KD at one point.
No,
so I think you don't want to. I think it's the KD curse, the KD comparison curse. If you get compared to KD, you're going to be trash.
I mean, I think if you go compare guys to KD, you gotta make sure they actually have that KD skill set. You gotta make sure they actually have the handles, their shot. And a lot of these guys, they gotta work on their shot when they come to the league anyway. So can they develop that shot? So so is one, you gotta look at the KD. They gotta have the KD handles. They gotta have the KD game. Can they shoot the midi? Can they shoot that 3-pointer? And I think that's why I think Jabari Smith's the most comparable to KD since Jabari Parker. And even though Jabari, I don't want to say Jabari Parker because Jabari Parker was more like a mellow type of dude. But I think Jabari Smith's maybe a little more comparable to that. Because he is 6'10".
Yeah, he has the size.
He does kind of have that frame already. 6'10", 220. So he kind of does have a little bit of a frame already.
Does he have like the dribbling handles and all that?
He got the ball. He had the ball handling component.
But then KD's also able to. What he's best at is creating his own shot.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think on the NBA level, those guys will get better at that on the NBA level. I mean,
Jabari Smith has that ability to create his own shot.
I think he can, but not consistently on the NBA. Not for like an NBA level consistently. That'll be developed over time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think you just have to be able to create your own shot to be like a superstar player in the NBA. It's just that simple. I feel like a catch and shoot. Yeah, if you're a catch and shoot type of player, I mean, you could still be good. I feel like Klay Thompson is like that, but just not going to be. I don't know. I like players that could just create their own shot. But you said Jabari Smith might not be like that. So,
well, I say he can. He's not won't be consistent.
What about Shet? Could Shet create his own shot?
I mean, he a big man. He kind of, I guess he can
He's
kind of
like,
create on shot a little bit. He has good handles for a big man.
I
Like you say
mean,
with Shaq,
I mean,
he's just small.
I thought
He's just
Lamelo.
small.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought like when Lamelo was gonna, made it to the league and all that, I thought he would get, destroyed. To be honest, I wasn't a believer in him. So I mean, I guess we'll see. Hopefully, I'm proven wrong again with Holmgren or Chet Holmgren. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
I mean, what is he?
Like
He's
I said, he'll be
projected.
all right.
Isn't he projected to be like the first pick? I think, or did he drop down to the second? I think.
They still think he's going to do the first pick, but I mean, like he'll be all right. Like, yeah, he go have trouble guarding guys like Embiid and all of that. Who
I think they're
had
gonna
time.
have to plug him in as like a power forward, maybe even maybe even the three. I don't think he could play center.
I don't know, but here's what you got to think about. Even guys like Giannis and LeBron, they came in the league. Even KD came in the league. They were super skinny.
Yeah,
They put on that weight as they got into the league, got into the weight room a little bit, So I think Chet will be that same way. I think he'll gain some muscle and as he get into the league, matures his body.
yeah. No, I mean, I agree with you on that. You know, um,
And he already has great shot blocking instinct. So like once he does do all that stuff,
isn't he leading Gonzaga for like most? I think blocks in their history or something.
I believe so. Yeah, he's up there for sure.
So yeah, I mean, he's gonna have pretty good rim protection.
Yeah, listen,
in
he can
NBA,
be a Rudy
but
Gobert. He could potentially be a Rudy Gobert type of player, winning Defensive Player of the Year at some point in his NBA career.
well, Rudy Gobert is more of like a traditional center. Rim protector
Yes,
gives you,
the
a
rebound
few
and
points in
stuff.
the paint, but he's mainly known just for his defense. But I mean,
Mm.
I'll take that if Shed could be like. I think Shed's more like on. Yeah, I mean, I think he could be like a KD type because he could also, stretch the floor a little bit, right? Doesn't he have the ability to make some 3-pointers?
Yeah, a little bit.
Or
So
he could hit.
we'll just compare him to Brook Lopez because that's more of a center kid earlier.
Hopefully not. I mean,
You keep throwing the KD out there, bro. Like,
nah, I don't think Brooke Lopez.
KD.
I mean, Brooke Lopez can't. I mean, I don't think he knows how to catch a ball. No, I'm just kidding. But
I've seen over there. You watched the game the other night. He was hitting some catch and shoot. He's on the board.
yeah. Oh man, we've been on for an hour and 22 minutes.
Yeah.
I think we needed Josh tonight. I think he's like the equalizer.
Don't tell us when to get off because we go all day.
Hey, if you're listening, Josh, hope you get better. Probably not listening, but
if you watch this later,
all right. I think we're gonna end it here.
all right.
Got a lot of editing to do. We've been on for a while, so do you have any thing you want to say before we end it?
Shout out to Josh. Hope you feel better. Dealing with
Better, Josh.
Yeah, better Josh, man. Better Josh than the better his kids, man. Him and his kids are here sick.
Hopefully, it's not COVID or anything.
I don't think it's cold. It's just a cold. He told me it's just a cold, so
yeah,
we good. So yeah,
I had COVID like a month ago, and that was not fun.
I bet. I had it when it first came out around the summer of 2020. I didn't really have any symptoms though, so I'm blessed to say that I didn't have any symptoms when I had it.
So get better, Josh, and don't you want to make any shout outs or anything for the outro?
No, man. I think that's it. Just a better Josh, man. We need, love having your presence here, man.
Yeah, for
We'll
sure.
see him tomorrow anyway. I gotta
You
get
guys, how do you guys do? You guys know each other personally or something?
No, I go to the shop, man. Pretty much, I go to the shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like, he's your barber.
Yeah, I'm gonna see him tomorrow. Actually.
Okay, that's cool. I met Josh. Honestly, I have like a Facebook page with like a few 100,000 followers. So like, I put up an ad on my Facebook, and I'm like, if anyone wants to join my podcast, just let me know. And then that's how we met. And then I asked him, like, if you have anyone that you feel has like a really good, you know, sports intellect and all that, you know, invite him to the group. And then he selected you. So yeah, so now we're here.
Yeah, made it a full circle.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah, and
guys.
I guess the only thing I shout out Nebraska Sunrise News, who I work for, you know, covering Husker sports. You know, follow, you know, if y'all anybody in Nebraska listens to this, you know, subscribe to Nebraska Sunrise News. You know, good content.
Oh yeah, one more thing. I think before we end this recording, we have to actually stay on this page until you see that little uploading button where it says it's like 99%. So we have to just wait. We literally have to wait for like, I don't know, however long it takes until that thing hits like 100%. So don't leave the page right when the podcast ends. All right. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to this episode.
Bless.
Courtside Podcast, episode 22. Oh yeah, don't forget to follow my Patreon page. I should have put this in my intro because no one's going to listen to this, but follow my Patreon. It's called NBA Memes and Podcasts. I got one Patreon right now, so we need more. And yeah, I just appreciate the support. Honestly, it's not about the money. It's more just about making content for you guys. So, you know, just, you know, that's all I got to say, I guess. So if you guys, hope you guys enjoy the listen and, you know, stay tuned. Listen, and make sure you subscribe to whichever, you know, platform you're listening to this on, because we're on a lot of different, you know, podcasting platforms. So you could listen, you know, pretty much on any one. So, all right, Leroy. Appreciate you for being on.
No problem, man. Y'all be safe. Have a blessed day.
All right, guys. All right, peace out. All right, now we gotta.